Oribe ware, Oribe-yaki, is a type of Mino ware, which is traditionally made in Tajimi, Japan. It was developed and named after Lord Furuta Oribe, 1544–1615. History. Ceramics from China, called karamin, were originally predominant. However, Lord Furuta Oribe pursued a completely different form of beauty and introduced an aesthetic of discord. The irregular shapes, distortions and scratches on a Mino ware bowl appeared to be signs of poor craftsmanship. But this unique design is what was appreciated by Oribe. The irregular shape, rather than practicality, was enjoyed. His taste became the mainstream, revolutionizing how people approached the traditional Japanese tea ceremony. The masters of tea found ways to use the Mino ware that the creators had not thought of or intended. The new aesthetic of the irregular, popularized by Oribe, went beyond the tea bowl. Dishes for serving food were flattened, irregular shapes that could not be made on a wheel and were instead made over a mold. They were also designed with geometric patterns. Oribe ware is most identifiable for its use of green copper glaze and bold painted designs. It was the first use of colored stoneware glaze by Japanese potters. Oribe was supposedly influenced by the green introduced from China, but adapted it for local tastes. This color was previously rarely used and took many of his contemporaries by surprise. Artists specializing in Oribe ware include Yasuo Tamaoki, b. 1941, and Osamu Suzuki, b. 1934, who was designated a living national treasure in 1994. Suzuki Goro, b. 1941, is a modern artist who works in Oribe ware amongst others, as well as Shigeru Koyama. The Museum of Furuta Oribe in Kyoto opened in 2014 and exhibits a number of Oribe ware characteristics. Originally, designs of irregular shapes in Mino ware were coincidental. Either it became warped on the potter's wheel or during the firing process. In traditional Japanese aesthetics, the irregularities are considered a part of nature. If it is irregular, it may seem more natural and convey warmth and softness and fragility, in accordance with wabi-sabi. Also, a tea bowl would look different from every angle and the user could discover it in many ways, not only visually but also by touch. Either side could be the front of the bowl, depending on the view. On the contrary, a perfectly symmetrical shape could give an artificial or a cold impression. The Kutsugata Chawin is a typical form that follows these principles. At some point the irregularity was made intentionally. The clay body typically has a low iron content and is formed gradually by hand on a wheel. Once the curves are added with the fingers, the surface is carved dynamically with a spatula. Pieces can be taken out and by boldly scraping away at the surface, it can create a powerful visual effect on the vessel. For the production of flat food vessels with irregular shapes that could not be made on a wheel, a range of different drape moldings are used. A sheet of clay is applied over a piece of fabric and pressed against the mold. Molds are rarely used to shape pottery, but it breaks up the symmetry and creates irregular shapes. An irregular shape is considered more interesting than a regular one. Different glazes and patterns developed. Green Oribe, Oribe, ceramic with classical green glaze and underglaze painting. Green is the typical color of Oribe ware, along with white. The original Chinese green was a smooth even color like celadon. Oribe, however, tried to use different shades of more natural green, in order to reflect green mountains or riverside scenes. The surface is painted and decorated with lively surface designs, which may be based on nature, geometric patterns, or a combination of the two. For the brilliant green color, wares are fired using oxidation at 1220 degrees Celsius. Red Oribe, Narumi Oribe, made of white and red, or iron-bearing clay, and decorated with green glaze. Appears, sometimes brown or orange in color. General, or green Oribe. So Oribe. Uniformly green glazed ceramics. Black Oribe. Oribe-guro. Black glazed ceramics with unglazed spots. Sometimes decorated with paintings. Shino Oribe was originally the precursor of Shino ware. Today a type, which in contrast to the old Shino ceramics is fired in modern multi-chamber hangers. Oribe is a style of pottery with much variation in the type of ware as well as the surface treatment. Like many types of Japanese pottery, bowls and dishes are common. Oribe wares also include lidded jars and handled food containers. Many Japanese chefs still use Oribe green for their cuisine. A green-colored glaze is considered visually complementary for traditional foods such as white or red fish or seafood. Food can be arranged on either the green or white side of the plate to create visual harmony and thus be aesthetically pleasing. Images. Further readings. Turning point. Oribe and the Arts of 16th Century Japan. Metropolitan Museum of Art. Yale University Press. 2003. ISBN 0-300-101953. Takeshi Murayama. Ryoji Kuroda. Classic Stoneware of Japan. Shino and Oribe hardcover. Kodansha. 2002. ISBN 9784770028976. Ryoichi Fujioka. Shino and Oribe Ceramics. Kodansha. 1977. ISBN 9780870112843. Takeshi Murayama. Oribe. Famous Ceramics of Japan. Kodansha. 1983. ISBN 9780870115301. Media related to Oribe ware at Wikimedia Commons. http www.oribe. Gr. J.P. Momoyama. Japanese Art in the Age of Grandeur. An exhibition catalogue from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Fully available online as PDF. Which contains material on Oribe ware. Turning point. Oribe and the Arts of 16th Century Japan. An exhibition catalogue from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Fully available online as PDF. Which contains material on Oribe ware.